We here with another car vlog. All right, back from work, and yeah, man, we're gonna get back to it again today, man. It's another day filled with more life. So beyond anything, man, I'm extremely grateful, very grateful for the opportunity to just, man, see another day, man. I think that a lot of guys just don't have the blessing really to just be able to wake up again and get back to another day. With that being said, I'm about 20 minutes away from the cribbo, 20 minutes away, and I'm probably gonna make some tilapia when I get back there. I think it's one of the best sources out there. It's easy, efficient, high in protein. Nonetheless, I'm on the west side. I'm on, well, closer towards the east, I should say, but I'm like really more towards the farthest quarters of the west side, and I'm gonna go back towards, well, let's just say where the numbers begin to go smaller. Passing one of the older elementary schools here in the area. Yeah, man, nonetheless, another car vlog. We're gonna get back to it. Now, when we get down towards the goals at hand, goals that really matter, what makes any goal difficult to achieve, it gets down to a lot of things, really. And with it being having the relentless mindset, the attitude to really be confident, to be capable, to just really execute. I think at the end of the day, what gets results is action. The action to actually go behind and go forward towards your goals, towards the things that matter, and to simply execute. So that matters at the end of the day. And what you have as proof for what you've done in a given day. All you have is the work ethic to show for itself. And I think work ethic it's a very big deal in terms of creating something out of nothing. And if you're able to just grasp a few simple concepts on what can make your life easier, less of a headache even, it's going to make the goal a lot more easier to achieve, less strain, less headache, and it's going to create a lot more momentum. I think momentum is a powerful thing for anyone to inhibit. However, in order to create that momentum, what is necessary is a cutthroat, relentless ability or attitude, you can look at it, to just start. I think starting is the most easiest part. We can all start doing something. However, when it gets down to it, how are you going to finish what you started? And then that boils down to looking back at your wife, Diego's personal training, posting on social media, the difficulties of posting, learning about marketing. That was the most horrendous part I've had to face about being an online coach. It took me a long time to accept that. Okay, well, I can't just post and figure out along the way. Absolutely not. Because when it gets down to it, you can't just, the marketplace is going to tell you how your post reel is going to perform. And that right there shows me, oh, I can't just go about this willy-nilly or go about it in a blind manner, expecting to get over the top results. No, marketing is king, and being able to correctly position yourself well in the marketplace is extraordinarily important. And being able to understand that at the highest level, and being aware of the fact that you need to have a plan, a blueprint, or something you're following in your own life, even for weight loss. It makes things a lot more difficult. We'll call it that. And those are things that I'm facing today on social media in terms of learning how to build a brand, because that is a goal long term. That is a goal long term, to build something long term that's going to build up on solid ground, a foundation, if you would call it. And that itself is a brand that's centered around fitness, health, and being able to apply that into my own personal life. That itself is more difficult than what it appears to be. However, those are current struggles I'm facing in my life. However, am I going to go about it every day with the expectation that, if things get difficult, I'm just going to fall and quit? That's what makes goals, any goal that is worth achieving in life, fulfilling to accomplish. The fact that it's never going to be easy, or the fact that you could say few people are doing it. It's more about the challenges and the struggles that are positioned, that are aligned in front of you, that you have to overcome in order to make the goal a lot more difficult to achieve. And if you're able to really just be aware of that and be be creative, strong-minded enough to find a solution, regardless of what it takes, regardless of people telling you, no matter how many times you do this, or no matter how many times you post, it's not going to work. No matter how many critics or non-believers, people will discourage you. Look, man, if you can say it like that, focus, that position, and it never break ground or falter, you're gonna get there inevitably. As long as you show up every single day in your life where intended to be, you're gonna get there, and it's only going to happen if you just consistently position yourself to where you need to be, man. Look, any goal worth having in life is not going to be easy to accomplish. All right, it just never was. It never will be. And you know what? Lead into that. Accept it, because when you're able to understand that goals in life are meant to be faced with strife and struggle, and you got to set the standard for that, and know what it means to show up relentlessly and play the game long term, man. Social media is a long term game. Uploading, especially on YouTube, is a long-term game, and you got to look at it like that. A lot of creators, or you could just say people in general, starting out was the idea that you can just garner mad followers, garner 1,000 followers as long as you just post. Necessarily, a lot more input is required before you can see strategic output like that. So I look at it as a long-term game, man. I'm with it for the long haul. I'm literally looking at it as an opportunity for me to just position myself in the game long enough to become relevant. And that's how you win in your fitness endeavor. You need to stick long enough to see results. Even when things are not going your way, you have to be relentless, man. You have to be. And I'm literally like gung-ho about that. In order to see lifelong results that last, the permanent kind of results that are lifelong, where you lose the weight, you keep it off, you don't just gain it back in a week. Yeah, those results, and those require a cutthroat ability to just be at it relentlessly. You only get that far when you've established momentum. It's crazy. And I'm already passing by one of the areas that's close to where I reside. Yeah, and it's like every day I'm driving back, man. I'm literally like the importance of accomplishing a goal. Why it's important? I mean, if there's something you love doing, man, or that you want to accomplish, or it's more like a need to accomplish the goal. Like, what are you waiting on, bro? I hope you're not waiting on no validation from someone to tell you to go and do it. Man, the best time to go and start something was yesterday. The second best time is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not a year from now when things become okay or seem better. Now, practically, I've had several individuals in my life tell me, "Oh, don't do that thing right now. Don't do it right now. The perfect time to start that idea is not now, but when you finish blah blah blah, or when you finish X Y Z." Frankly, I thought it was disgusting to go and put off my goals, the things I held of high value in my own life, to put off 2 years from now when things become decent. The idea is asinine. There is no perfect time in this world that God has, gracefully placed me in to go and start something. I laugh at the idea when people tell me that you should wait 2 years before you do that thing. Wait until it's ridiculous, it's stupid, and it's definitely something I would not invite or encourage anyone to do. There is never the perfect time to go and start something. There never will be, there never is. And if you're looking for the right opportunity or for something to tell you when to go and do something, there never is a better time to go and do it than now. Which is exactly why I'm a pro advocate of, though, if there's something on my mind that I'm willing to make become reality, what's gonna hold me back or stop me from actually getting me there? And when you look at it, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So there are going to be influences in your life that are going to tell you whether or not you should start something. And then you need to have the balls to literally stand up and say, no, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do it at a high level. And you, nor anyone else, is going to stop me, slow me down from accomplishing this one thing. So you got to look at it with that way and take your life and grab it by the balls, man, and stand up for yourself, have some courage. Because if you don't, somebody else will, and they're going to control your life, or they're going to have an influence in your life, whichever way they seem fit. And I'm no longer playing that victim mentality on waiting for the right scenario in life. waiting for the right time. It's stupid. There never is a right time for anything in life. I truly believe that. And anyone who wants to wait for the right time to go and do something is only going to lose time in the process of starting of could have been or started that venture, starting it and ahead of time. It could have been probably somewhere different than where they are now, but because they chose to not have the courage to stand up for what they wanted to do, well, they're gonna get different results. Different results. If I started this business 2 years from now, only God knows where I would have been. Or call it 3 years from now when things played right. Stupid. And being able to understand what it is that you want. I think that's important. Before you do anything else, you need to know what you want or what you desire in life. Because me saying this, it's only when you know exactly what it is you want in life, why you want it, and you need to have a goal in order to actually get there. Without the goal, how do you expect to get there? If you don't know how to lose 10 pounds and you don't have a creative ways and means towards getting there, how do you expect to get there? It's crazy. It's crazy to me. So, know what you want, man. Understand why you want it. And move with intention. Move with accuracy, man. Like, there is no greater privilege, there's no greater opportunity than in God's grace, in God's gift to grace me with more life. I think that is truly a beautiful thing, because tomorrow was never promised, and before you know it, the day is gone, and the moment you blink, the day's already over. So you gotta expect one thing to go down by the end of today. When you want to self-reflect on your goals, did you do everything imaginable, everything possible to lose X pounds, to lose 10 pounds, or to get closer to your goal, to become the person you want to be? If not, man, gotta do something about it. A lot of distractions going on in the world to separate you from your goals, and you gotta have the mentality to rise above it and position yourself in every environment, every scenario possible to where you can win on a relentless and a consistent basis. And I think that the people who continually do that on a regular basis, they're going to be heavily rewarded with not only success, but I'm talking about the ability to achieve something better than that. And that's just the freedom to live your life on your own terms. There is no greater way to live life than not having to be called into work, or not having to be called in towards doing something simply because your boss, supervisor, or your higher up tells you to. Quite frankly, if there's something that I want to do, then I want to know that I can go about my own business in any way that I see fit. So that's my perception, that's my thought process on it. And it's why I'm an advocate of hey, like, if you got something, if there's a goal you want to achieve and you don't know how to get there, the first step is to understanding that goal on a more intrinsic level, or more on an internal level. How are you going to get there? What are the thought processes that is stopping you from creating change in your life? And make the decision to go all in on that goal. Weight loss is no different. If I'm trying to lose 20 pounds, I want to tone up my waistline or drop 2 inches off my waist. The only way that I'm going to get there is if I'm consistently, one, surrounding myself around individuals who are on a goal similar to that, and two, it's to be ruthlessly aware of my surroundings, and three, it's to definitely take the action required on a consistent and regular basis. It's like it's clockwork, like it's automatic. And that's where it needs to be for you in your own fitness journey if you're trying to lose weight and keep it off. You want to inhibit habits, and you want to do it in a way where it becomes like second nature, where it becomes an autopilot, where you don't have to think about anything. That's the goal where you want to be, where you need to be, and where you want to play at in order to see any physical change or a mental change into your goal now and where you want to be. Boom. That's why I see it, man. And now I'm literally at the last stoplight, or 2 stoplights if you want to call it that, before I get back to my crib. So yeah, I got like 5 minutes left before we make that extra turn. So it's like we're almost there, man. We're literally almost back at the crib, man. It's last final stretch, and that's about it. Look, man, your goals matter to you as much as you claim it does. You'll do everything in your power possible to make it become a reality, man. No excuses, no buts, no nothing, man. Like, the goals matter to you. Find a way to make it happen. Doesn't matter if you're in school. Doesn't matter if you have other obligations on your plate. Trust me, none of that matters. Are you gonna show up for yourself regardless of how much difficulty you face in your own life? And those that relentlessly show up despite the odds, they're gonna be heavily rewarded. They're gonna make it. They're gonna accomplish their goals and get to where they want to be. If you're in the same way, if you feel the exact same way about any of that, or what I just said, man, look, go follow, go subscribe to this page down below to build your physique, losing your next 10 pounds, or even bettering your overall way of life.